Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're having another August edition conversation with Nolu, and today we are talking about motherhood. So I'm just gonna quickly pin the comment, and then we're gonna add her to the live, and then we will. So grab your water, grab your coffee, grab your wine, and join us.
Oh wow, water. you you having water.
Okay, that seems good. That seems good. How are you officially?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, babes. I'm great. Thank you so much for joining us today. And before we even start, thank you for sharing this journey with us. Because I know not a lot of mothers will be willing to share this part of their lives, because I think it's very intimate. Definitely. So we've had you before last year for our June edition, and last year we were talking about wellness and mental matters. Today we are talking about motherhood. So for someone who's joining us for the first time ever on the channel, on the live, kindly just give them like a brief introduction of who you are, what you do, and we'll start with our conversation.
Okay, so my name is Nolukhanya Madlingozi, and I'm a mother of one. Still very new. I am in the optometric industry, and that's actually where myself and Nomti met.
Yes.
But overall, I am your ultimate adrenaline junkie. I'm super active, and yeah, my life basically revolves mostly around that. And now a little man.
Yeah, a very cute little man, by the way, guys. He's like so adorable.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I think we can just go ahead and flow into the conversation. So I think just so that everyone has an idea of the structure of today's conversation. So we're going to start like at the very beginning. So we'll talk about your pregnancy journey. We'll talk about your labor journey. And then we'll just talk about a few months of being a mom, your maternity leave. And then we'll touch on how you are balancing work, how you're balancing your social life, how you're balancing being a mom, and how you're balancing basically, because you're still a daughter at the end of the day. You're still a mom, you're still a friend, you're still a daughter, and you're still a runner because you're very active. So you're also still a runner. So how do you go about balancing all of that? So before Nja even say a lot of things, let's start at like the very beginning. So you're just gonna walk us through your pregnancy journey. So we all know when a woman is pregnant, she carries the baby for 9 months. Guys, if you didn't know, for 9 months. And you have like this little human growing inside of you, which affects a lot of parts of yourself. So your body changes, your emotions change because your moods change because of your hormones, because you're going on like this whole hormonal change in your body. So just walk us through your pregnancy journey.
Okay. Before I actually start, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone joining us this evening. The response has been Absolutely beautiful. I honestly didn't expect everyone was like, "Oh, I want to hear, I want to hear," you know. We take these things for granted because they are everyday lives. So we sort of expect them to be normal. We expect everyone to know.
Yes.
We expect everyone to be clued up. Whereas I think everyone everywhere is just trying to find the right method. You know, they're just trying to find out how everyone else is doing it, whether they're doing it right, whether they should be doing something, whether they shouldn't be doing it, you know. So
Yes.
I do want to say thank you to everyone that's been supportive of everything that we covering tonight. So
Great.
I think let me start with the very beginning of the pregnancy.
Okay.
I laugh because I feel like till today, I get, especially my close friends, family, they still look at me like, for real? You know?
When? Exactly.
So yeah, but it was one of those super unexpected moments in my life. Very unexpected. And I mean, the situation is not unique to me, but when it does actually happen to you, and the way it's so cliche with everyone when they say, "Oh, I never expected to fall pregnant. I never expected to have," you're like, no one, like, whoever admits to ever wanting a baby, you know. But when it actually does happen, and you are one of those people that are like, I didn't expect it, you know. So for me, it's really, really just one of those where I was like,
Okay.
It was literally just a normal month, you know. I remember I was at my sister's place. I was in Joburg. I was going through some rough patch in life. So she says to me, she books me a flight. She says, "Come through. You need time out." So I take the flight and I go. So we just chilling, having wine, good times, literally. I had both and it's all good. And in the conversation, we so happened to talk about something very close to our monthlies. So I'm like, well, hold up, wait. Can we just count a bit? Can we count? We need to do a bit of counting. And then my sister says, well, we've got a bit of a situation. And I said, no, I'm not going to. I will
Can't be. Nope. No, not me.
And then she says, well, you're going to have to. So I'm like, okay, let's wait it out. Give it another couple of days and let's see what happens. And I stayed over for, I think, 3 days, and I left. Okay, I went back to PE. I got to PE. I'm thinking, no, I'll give it another 2 days. But then at this point, I'm like, surely I've been late before, you know? But
not this late.
Yeah, and yeah, when I checked, it was there. It was there, and probably the most sincerest prayers I have ever done. I've had situations where I've prayed with a heart full of sorrow and hope and whatever it is, and you know, but that one time I knelt down and I said, God,
Lord,
if this is it, that's fine. But if not, I promise with my whole life that I will be careful, you know? But I think more than anything for me, I sort of, in my heart, I knew, because most of my prayer consisted of, give me the strength to accept. If it is, I need strength to accept the situation. That's all. I'm not for much. And while I'm praying is when I was busy doing the test. So I put it there and I went to go pray, So after that praise,
Oh,
I looked at it and it came back positive. And that
and
was
you're like,
yeah. And I sat there quietly. And then I texted my sister and she was like, what? I'm like, yeah. And she says, you know what?
sure.
Screw everything. From now on, that's all we concentrate on. You have a baby coming, whatever's going on, whatever is going to go on, we don't, no negative vibes.
Yes.
We are positive and we are going to concentrate on that. And that was the beginning
Amen.
of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
After that, when it comes to my hormones and sickness, it never looked back. I was sick from the day I found out until 5 months later.
Oh,
Yes, sick,
oh
sick.
my God.
So,
But what
so
what
you
were you eating? Were you able to eat?
no, no.
Oh my
I
God.
lost so
Okay.
much weight. I lost so much weight. I literally could only eat yogurt and amasi. Yeah. So whatever
Ah,
I
okay.
ate, yeah, it didn't. No cooking, no smelling, nothing. Just milk or just pure whatever it is. And I was sick.
Mm,
So people normally say it's morning sickness, but what in actual
mm.
fact, it's whole day sickness. It's
Sure.
probably more,
Mm.
painful, whatever you want to call it.
Severe in the morning.
But throughout the day,
Mm,
yeah, it was a rough first trimester for me.
mm.
Having to
And
deal,
how did you?
so having
No,
to
you can
deal,
continue.
having to deal with the fact that I was pregnant and being sick at the same time. Like I was sick. There was the pregnancy sickness.
Mm.
There was the fact that I was sick. Obviously the
Yeah,
body wasn't
yes.
getting enough nutrients, wasn't getting enough of anything.
Mm,
So the whole thing just, it wasn't, my body wasn't taking it well. In and out of the
mm.
doctor, off of work for quite a while because I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that's the whole journey. But I think after about 3 months, even though I was sick, I figured I need to get up. I need to do something. I need to come to
Mm,
terms with what it feels like right now to sort of relieve the pressure of me. So I went back to
and
training, regardless. I was like,
yes.
and
Yes, I remember last year the picture I had for your life was you running on the track with a
yeah,
belly. I'm
yeah.
like, this woman, okay.
Yeah. So I went back to train because at the time it literally was the only thing that kept me sane. It was the only
Mm,
time I
mm,
could be with myself and I could sort of think clearly. And it was for me more than anything, the running was a fight for me. So being able
yes,
to run while I was pregnant, it was almost like I felt I felt like the bigger person. I felt stronger. I felt, in control.
yes.
And I felt like
Mm, mm,
not even this could stop me. Um, so it was just a whole lot of that incorporated
mm-hmm,
with like other things that I had to deal with like daily. But overall, the
mm.
the pregnancy itself was bittersweet. It was really, really just it had its moments. It really
It
had
had
its
its moments. I guess it does for everyone, hey? I guess
yeah,
it does for everyone.
yeah,
And let's touch on your support system. So I know when you're pregnant, look, I had a friend who was pregnant, and I remember there was a time where, and she was pregnant in varsity. So there was a time where I'd go see her, and I'm like, oh, but I brought you this, and she's like, but I don't want what you brought, and I'm like, okay, but like I tried like to be nice to her, and
yeah,
she'd just be like, but I didn't ask you to do that. Or like, but why are you in my room? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love you. I want to show you support and love, but you just shutting me out. I
Yeah.
think that was like part of the whole hormones process.
Yeah.
How was that for you? How was the support, and how did your pregnancy, I think, sort of affect the people around you, if it did?
Yeah.
Emotionally so.
It's gonna sound very weird, but I was quite lucky to be alone. Because yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Explain.
I was alone most of the time. So
Mm-hmm.
it was work and home, work, training, and home. And at home,
Mm-hmm.
everyone understood that I didn't want to be with it. Like straight to my room, and that was it.
Oh,
At work,
yes.
I had to deal with a few people here and there, but honestly
Mm.
speaking, afterwards I tried to think about it, and I thought, I don't know what, if I had someone next to me, I don't know if they would have been able to take it, because it's a
Mm. It was
different
a bit a
beast
lot.
together. You honestly don't have any control. You do have, but like it's very minimal. It's hormonal.
It's very minimal, yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
But in terms of the support structure, I my family, my family
Mm.
and my I've got very few friends, close friends, people I call friends, and luckily for me, my friends are my family. It's a setup
Yes.
that I've always had. Literally, my friends are my
Mm.
family. Sisters are my
Mm.
friends. And at the time, obviously, like I said, because of the situation that I was going through, everyone around me, sort of, it was unspoken. They were there, but they knew that they
Mm.
shouldn't or couldn't come any closer than they were. So they sort of allowed me to go through the process by myself while they were there,
Mm.
you know.
It's
And
like, I got you. I got
yeah,
you. I got you.
exactly.
Yes.
You
It's like
know,
I'm there for you. You can
yeah,
call me if you need me, but I'm not gonna be in your face so that you can have your own space.
yes,
Wow, that's beautiful.
yeah. So I was very lucky when it comes to that. And um, personally, my character, I'm a very strong character by nature.
You are.
And
Mm.
yes, and my level of resilience is makeable, even if I have to say so myself. So
Mm.
I guess it wasn't so hard for people around me, to come close to me or
Mm.
do whatever they needed to do, because but even me by myself, I knew what I needed to do to come to terms with myself and the situation that I was in.
Yes, in the situation that you were
Yeah.
in, yes.
So, but overall, I can never get over the amount of support that I got from my family, my mother, my
Mm.
aunts, my brother. Ugh, it's amazing. It's really just amazing. And my best friend Emma, at she'd literally randomly just video call me and tease me, because yeah, you kind of sometimes you look
Well,
different. Sometimes you
you
look different,
do.
you know.
You do.
Like
You
randomly,
do.
dude, you're so ugly. I'm like, okay, rub it in, thank you. Um,
Fine. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
everyone did their bit. It was a bit of touch and go here
Mm.
and there. Are you okay? Okay, good.
Mm.
Okay, do you
Mm.
need anything? Okay,
Mm.
good. But
Yes.
really, when I needed to be alone, everyone understood that
You
I
had
needed
the
to be
space.
alone.
Yes.
And
And when you needed the support, they also
yeah,
understood. Got you.
everyone would literally just
Got you.
come forward. So I was very lucky.
Mm.
Very lucky. And I think over time, when I look at people when they're pregnant or when they've just had babies, and they say they don't have anyone, that could mean they don't have anyone to help them, or they don't have family. It breaks my heart. I can't
Mm.
imagine. Oh, I can't imagine. And I keep thinking to
Yeah,
myself
definitely.
that there's a reason why it is said we should have babies when we're married. There is a
There
very
is.
good reason behind it.
There,
It not to spite anyone or to say that they should wait to get married or anything like that, but the support structure makes a whole lot of difference. A whole lot of difference.
Yes.
I remember when I got back from hospital. A special shout out. I saw him somewhere here. A friend of mine, Mobile. He helped me a lot. So kind. But anyway, about 3 days after I'd given birth, your pattern sort of changes overnight, literally. Changes overnight. And while you're trying to grasp this, you realize that. And when you're trying to grasp that, you realize the other. And you are forced into a pattern you yourself don't know.
Sure.
The baby needs to be breastfed every 3 hours. When the baby decides they want to wake up, you have to wake up. When the baby decides to cry, you have to make means to hush them. When
to sort that out, yes.
So now all of a sudden it's about this person, you know, and you are in pain. Can we start there? You're in pain. You've just given birth.
I think
your body.
I think let's. I think look, you know what? I think like you're right. You just jumped a step. You didn't take us through your labor, and now people are. I'm sure there's probably guys who join the live and they're like, we know delivery is probably painful, but what pain are you talking about, girl? Just like, what do you mean? So I think walk us through your delivery journey.
Yeah, we'll get that. But like,
okay,
got you. It's still, I'm still on the support, and the main thing for me that I probably will never forget, because it really, as a person, it humbled me in a way. So about 3 days after I got home, and now I haven't been sleeping since the day I was in labor pain. Haven't even given birth. I haven't slept properly, and now I'm at home and I've got this little baby that I'm starting to fall in love with, but there's also these things going on. And I think on the third day, it was in the morning, around 10ish, I had the baby in my arms, and I was alone in my room. My mom was in the dining room watching TV or something like that, and I think he was crying. So he was crying, and I was trying to breastfeed, and you know, it took him a while to learn to latch and do all those things. And
yes,
eventually my mom comes and she stands at the door and looks at me. I couldn't look at her because I could feel the tears in my eyes. So I didn't want to see that I'm crying or I'm about to cry, because in my mind, I knew if she had to ask if I'm okay, I wouldn't be able to answer. Or if she said just anything, I was going to burst out.
Yeah.
And really, she looked at me and she asked, "Are you fine?" And I just cried. I bawled my eyes out. She didn't say anything. She just came and took the baby and said, "Sleep." And I swear, that's all I needed. I needed to sleep. And when I woke up, I felt a whole lot better. And that's when, for me, I was like, there's people who do this alone with no one to help them. And there's people who do that with people next to them, but they're actually not helpful enough.
Not next to them,
So when it comes to support, I do want to emphasize, especially to people who have partners available, that men should really start thinking and be much more considerate, you know. I know they probably grew up in a society that tells them that it is not a man's duty to look after a baby or a child. But it's hard. Our generation, we have careers, we have ambitions, we have other things that we
yes.
nice to have someone that understands that we need to balance life. We can't do it all, although we can, but it's hard. But that's not what we want.
Yes.
We want to live a hard life.
And we don't want to do it all.
Yes. No, we
Like,
don't
we
want to
don't
do it.
want to be strong. We
Oh,
want someone to support. Yes, we want to be able to cry our lungs out and know that someone out there cares, you
yeah.
know, and someone is going to be there.
Yeah.
Someone is tearing up, and I'm also like, yo, when you said that, I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, guys.
Well,
I think it's such stories that people don't share about pregnancy, and always see, like, guys, Mina Uno,
happy
I always
pictures.
see her on TikTok with her baby, and they're like the cutest mother son, and I'm like, oh, so cute. And no, like, we don't see what happens in the background. We don't see the amount of love and the amount of work that you
Yeah.
actually put in
Yeah.
as a mom. And I think it's so beautiful that you made time today to share your story with us.
Yeah.
And like, I'm honestly like kind of out of words. Just, yeah, well,
Yeah.
I
But
think
there's nothing that can
mm,
prepare you for such. In as much as I'm trying to explain right now, you'll hear it.
it's
But until such time you really
yes.
you are there and you feel the moments. I
Then you
can never do
feel, yes,
it in
man.
explaining it. It's not really
Mm,
easy. That's not.
it's not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Got you. Got you.
Mhm.
Let's walk through briefly your labor. How was your labor and delivery? I know people probably are gonna maybe a little bit sensitive, so we understand. But this is for someone like myself. You know, I don't have a kid. Well, I'm not thinking of having a child anytime soon. But should I consider, or should I even think about maybe dissing someone who has a kid, or just saying some bad word to someone who's like struggling with a younger kid? Just to walk through that journey, to understand what you go through as a mom as you're giving birth. So like, I know nothing about labor. All I know is the baby comes out and yeah, it's born and they're
That's
cute.
it. Yeah. Um, so with me, can we start? I must say, I was quite lucky when it comes to my pregnancy. Okay, not at first because I had a horrible experience. It was hot, but later
Mm,
on the later stages of my pregnancy, it was actually beautiful. Loved it.
mm,
Yeah. 'Cause I was able to
mm,
run quite a bit. I mean, I ran up until I was about 8 months. It was all good,
mm,
hunky dory. I remember uh, I went on my last checkup and I got to the doctor
mm.
and he asked me, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I feel okay, I'm good." And he laughed. He was like, "Huh?" And I'm thinking, why? What do you mean? I'm good. Yeah. And really, 2 days later, guess what? And we were only staying together a week and a half later. Yeah.
Sure.
So so what happens is that you know how your normal period pain feels like?
Man, I don't like that.
No, I mean it's period pains, right? So it starts off
Mm,
like huh. So I was like, Ugh, I must say, I can't get over the amount of support that I got, really. Literally. I could text some of the people and was like, this is what I feel. And so a friend of mine, SNL, will be like, don't worry, it's this and that. So like I was quite clued up with what could happen, what couldn't happen, what might
yes.
go wrong, what might,
Mm.
you know. So are you back?
We're back. I don't know what's happening with the network there. Um, But you were walking us through the first few cramps.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you, but the video is still loading. I'm not sure if you want to wait a bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it to come back.
Okay.
Because I can also see that it's
loading, yeah.
Still.
But I think you can continue talking.
Okay.
It's gonna come back eventually, I think, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, and as
so this is where you were, ne? So it was the day you were starting to experience your labor pains. You said it started off as period pains, and then you texted a friend, I think Ayanda or Asanda.
Oh, Asanele.
Yes, yeah, that's one, yes. So you were telling us about that.
Yeah. So that's how it starts off. And as the day went on, it sort of like becomes stronger. You're like, okay, I can feel something, but okay. I was rested for the day because, I mean, anything could happen. And
Yes.
like I said, I had this friend of mine on standby who was all so keen and kind, you know, to everything. So I remember in the afternoon around that day, I said, okay, I think we need to go to the hospital just to see if they'll, you know, do anything. So I went to the hospital, they checked, and they put you on those things and check the heartbeats and everything is still fine. And the nurse says, nah, you're in labor, but it's nothing. You have an option of going home and wait until it gets more intense, or you can just chill at the hospital. I was like, there's no way. And it was like right at the beginning of lockdown, level 5.
Yes.
I'm like, oh no, let me go die at home, you know? So
peacefully so.
yeah. So I went home. I was able to rest throughout the night. And then I think it was around the AM, 12, 1-ish. When I started, yeah, I was like, yeah, no, it was getting a whole lot more intense. And you won't believe this, but I got up and I started walking around. What I did was I tracked my contractions. So it was just to distract me. I had a timer every time.
Oh
I was
my
timing
God.
them. And I was writing the sequence or the intervals, whatever you call it, on my diary.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Okay.
But I mean, come on, what do you expect from an endurance junkie? So
I
for
was
me,
about
it
to
was like a
say,
challenge.
wow.
Yeah.
Accepted.
Yeah. For me, it was like a challenge. It's like, okay, let's see. How long can I take this? So hence the
Oh my
timer,
God.
stopwatch, and everything that I did. I was like, okay, let's see. How strong am I? And I did that until about 4 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Nolu.
Till about 4 in the morning. Up and down. But they were getting more intense, more and more intense. And then I went to the hospital the next day around 6-ish. Yeah, around 6. We got there. And I think Ngobile still teases me about it. When we got there at the door, so the security asked if I need a wheelchair. So I'm like, no, I don't need a wheelchair. So he says to me, no, why don't you take a wheelchair? I'm like, I'm not going to take a wheelchair. I will walk up. Like, I'm capable of walking up. Really?
Okay, baby girl. Girly. Okay.
So he says, I'm like, I don't care. I will walk. So I managed to walk to the labor ward. Once again, they check. There is this process that everyone, for me, it's a bit over exaggerated, but I get why. Because I mean, our thresholds are not the same. We handle pain differently. So the process is that you get on the bed. There's a thing sort of like a belt. I don't know what is it that they put around your tummy. I think it's what monitors the heartbeat. So what makes
Okay.
it painful is that you have to sit still. Now, the last thing you want to do is sit while you're in
Oh,
pain.
yes, I get you. I get you. Because you
So,
want to be pacing up and down
yes.
to
So
try
you
and
have to
like keep
sit
your mind
still.
distracted.
So you sit still for a while. Oh, wow. Because they need a whole
Oh,
chart to check the
oh
heartbeat
my
and
God.
everything else that they check.
So
So
let me ask real quick. Are they checking the heartbeat for you alone or for you and the baby?
it's the baby's heartbeat that they're checking with the belt.
Oh, oh, so not
Yeah,
yours.
so
Okay.
to make sure that he's not under any, I
Pressure or
don't know.
stress or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So if the
Okay.
heartbeat is fine, yeah, they're just checking that, and they do all these tests, to check everything. So it's a bit of a
Hmm.
process. But it's not stuff you want to do while you're in pain. let me just
Mm.
yeah, it's not things you want to do while you're in pain. Um,
Yes, got you, got you.
yeah, and uh, I'm quite lucky because I had my doctor do everything. It's just one of those where I had my gynae deliver my baby. It's
Oh,
safe.
that's nice.
Just
Yes, because at
so
least they've walked the entire
yeah,
journey with you.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So
Nolu, can I stop you for a bit?
yeah, sure.
It's still buffering. Can you
Okay,
exit the live and then come back again?
come back.
I won't, I
Okay,
won't, I won't drop it. Yeah. Because
okay.
now I'm like, it's like I'm talking to myself. Okay, let's add her again. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. It's just connection. We're in different parts of the country. So she's just gonna come back just now and then we'll continue. Oh,
Hey.
there she is. She's back. Awesome, awesome. I think before we continue with your labor, guys, if you've got any questions, we are going to have a Q&A section, session, apart from just this session. So keep them coming on the question section on
Yeah,
the live. Just drop them there, and then after the live, we'll end it, and then we'll start another one and just have a proper Q&A section so that it's not too long. Ne?
yeah. Goodies, goodies.
Cool. Okay, you can continue.
So it's quite an intense one. First, I do want to emphasize also that, like I said, we're different.
Mm.
Pain threshold is different.
Mm-hmm.
Delivery is different. You get people whose pregnancies aren't so smooth that they have to undergo C-section or some other type of birth,
Mm-hmm.
But for me specifically, I gave natural birth.
Sure.
Uh, yes, I gave natural birth. I think purely because I was active throughout. So
Yes.
um,
So that helped.
yes, it helped a lot. Hey, it helped. It helped. Like I said, with the amount of training I was doing while I was pregnant,
Mm.
I could definitely take the pain. And
Mm. I go. And now
okay,
you had
yeah,
a diary for your pain, like girl. I feel like it was you and the pain, and you were like, there's like one as on does.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I saw the fact that I was literally
You
writing
see.
down my contractions and timing myself.
Mm.
Who does
Mm.
this really? But anyway, um, so on the day, Anita, I went in the hospital around 6 in the morning, and then
Mm-hmm.
they monitored me. I wasn't dilating, which was another because I just
Which is
wasn't
not great,
dilating.
eh?
So what they
Mm.
had to do is, I don't know, they put something in my drip to make the contractions even harder, even more painful.
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
they, because I know they say something about induced labor. Do they do that?
yeah, sort of. You can say so,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
used. I didn't have like an epidural or something like that, but they put
Oh,
something
okay.
to intensify the contractions so that I could
So that you
die. Yeah,
dilate.
yeah.
Ah, yes,
So
yes, got
yeah,
you.
because I had gone a number of hours, and every time they checked, I was about 2 centimeters, 3, and you need to be about what, 8, I think. Can't remember.
Oh,
So,
hectic.
yeah. So the doctor came in, I think, at first around 10. He checked, and he said, "No, I still need to chill." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Came back around 12, and that's when they put whatever they I can't remember, but it put me to sleep for like an hour. It was beautiful. I don't know what they put me on, but I still think about it until today.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I have a rough day, I think about it. I don't know what it is, but whatever it was, I loved it for about an hour. The downfall though was that when I woke up, everything was times 10. Everything was times 10. So I was like, I don't know what to do
No.
now.
Mm,
Yeah. So
mm.
he came back. I think the worst part for me, he came back around 12, and he said to me, no, you'll give birth around 3. No, there's a clock right in front of me. I mean,
Oh
the most
my
excruciating pain, and I
God.
kept looking at the time. Oh my word.
Hectic.
Yeah.
So what time did you finally give birth?
I gave birth at 5 to 3.
Oh,
Yeah. So he was quite accurate when it came to that. I gave
oh
birth at
my goodness.
but I remember, yeah, can I just say it was just like the movies though. It was just like the movies.
Okay.
Yes. So I had just woken up from that beautiful sleep they put me on,
Mm-hmm.
and it intensified immensely. And then, but I'm like, at this point, I'm begging the nurse to give me another shot. And the nurse is just saying, I'm sorry, we cannot give you another shot. Like, this one, you're going to have to carry on now. So I'm like, oh, okay. I was pacing up and down, pacing up and down. But then eventually I was like, okay, I need to pull myself together, and I need to manage the pain mentally. So I lay down, but then I figured, no man, I need to pee. I felt like I needed to pee or something. As I got up, my water broke. So I'm like, at this point,
That is like the movies.
Yeah. So my water broke, and I'm calling the nurse. I'm like, nurse, my water broke. And it's something that happens like that. So my water broke, and then it felt like the baby is literally coming out now, and I'm not even on the bed. I was walking towards the bathroom, so you can imagine.
Oh my God. Yo.
And I could feel the baby coming out.
Oh my
So,
God.
so the nurse came, and she walked me to the labor room, and I got there, and she said to me, "Don't push, otherwise you're gonna tear." And I'm saying, "I'm not pushing. The baby's coming out. I'm not pushing. I swear I'm not pushing." And she kept saying, "Stop pushing." I'm not pushing. The baby's coming out.
Sure.
Oh my God. So, but
Oh my
eventually,
goodness.
yeah. But it was hardly 5 minutes, and my doctor came, and it was quick, eh? Literally. Giving birth is not the
But that why I was out. That one was out already. He just needed to be like, come now, baby boy. You know?
Yeah. But I always say giving birth is not the issue. It's the labor pains that are that's a whole different
that are
story, right?
intense.
Yeah, I mean, because you get people that it lasts for days, then they're in pain for a couple of days, 2, 3 days, and but giving birth is it's very fast even. And then I remember when they were done, as soon as I felt Ungosi on my chest, I passed out. Literally. I don't even remember him crying. I don't recall him. no, I don't recall him crying. Just put him on my chest, and then I passed out. And they took me to the other room, and they took the baby. Whatever, they leave you with the baby for like a few minutes, and then they take the baby. But all I know is that I passed out, because at this point I was like, "Thank you, Lord, it's done."
It's, sure,
So,
sure.
like I said, and it's probably something I'll keep saying the whole time. It's nothing that you can prepare yourself for. You cannot.
Sure.
You can tell yourself you're going to be strong, whatever. I mean, for me, I got different advices from different people. I was like, I can do this, it's easy, it should be okay. But
And then,
the actual moment is what defines
yes.
everything. But lucky for me, I was blessed to have a very uncomplicated pregnancy. And everything went as smooth as it could be.
Possibly go, yes.
Yeah. So I was quite blessed in that way.
And moving from your labor and your pains, because I'm like, definitely not having kids now.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
How was the Okay, we're back again.
Yeah,
I don't know. Our connection just goes on and off, on and off. Anyways, I was saying, so now that we've heard your labor journey, how was the first few times of breastfeeding? How was that?
Okay, now we are talking.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, pens out, notepads out.
So, it's such a beautiful experience. Especially being a first-time mom. You don't quite know anything about breastfeeding. You probably don't know how to, and the baby is brand new. They don't know how to do anything. There's nothing they know, but obviously the smell of breast milk, that's how they know that they should be going on the breast.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how they know they should be. Yeah, so it's the smell.
So is that why immediately when you put them next to the milk, they start looking for the nipple?
Remember, they can't see either.
Yes.
So it's the smell of the breast milk.
Sure.
So those first moments, the nurses obviously guide you through the breastfeeding process. They show how to, and if you're lucky, your baby will be able to latch in a day or so. If you're like me, it took him a while. So he was almost hungry the whole time because he couldn't latch properly, So
shame.
it was a struggle. Yeah, it was a struggle.
Can I ask something? When you breastfeed, do you compress the nipple or you just hold it there for the baby? I don't know. How does it work?
You just need to hold it for the baby. You don't really compress. There's no need for it to compress because they'll be
Doing that.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't really have to compress, unless you want to keep milk for them in a bottle. That's the only time you probably have to.
Got you.
Not for them while they're on your breast. No, you probably won't have to do. Yeah.
Got you.
So the first couple of days were a bit rough because we both were learning how to do.
Oh, I love that. We're both learning.
Yeah. And there's the thing that obviously now, because Unkosi wasn't latching and wasn't getting all the milk that he's supposed to getting, my breasts were getting full.
Oh, yes. And apparently that's painful. Yes.
Now listen, there's labor pain and there's that thing. I don't know what it is. It is painful.
Sure.
Oh, it is painful. Like you get to see all your veins on your breast, and like it's almost breast about to. If a person like uses a pin or a needle, they look as if they would just, you know, burst out, but it's painful, and you need to relieve it by getting some of the milk out, and that's the only way. And imagine now you have to compress this time. Now, no, that is painful, like to an extent that you probably have to put something in your mouth so that you don't make too much noise, because you will high time
Oh,
scream,
shame.
and you do it to yourself, by yourself.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
Lord.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no. We have
So
a comment coming up, and this lady, she's saying breastfeeding is weird for me. Only had a few days experience though, but like it was funny.
how funny. Okay, but can
I
I
think
say
it was just
I've,
weird.
I've, I've got at least 2 videos of myself breastfeeding, and every time I just laugh. I'm like, what are you doing? I think for
That you
me,
see,
no. For me though, I knew what was funny. It was like, why am I breastfeeding? Who is this? What's it doing? You know? So for me, it was one of those
yeah,
real moments where I had to come to terms with the fact that I have a baby and they're actually
yeah, I
sucking
know,
on my
got you.
titties.
Yeah, and they
So
need
I was
your
like, oh,
milk.
please. I mean, I still had days where I wake up with the baby next to her, like, when is your mom coming to
Who
fetch you?
who are
And
you?
so I was
Oh
just like, oh,
man.
please, Lord. Oh yeah, there could be a number of reasons why it was funny for her, but I'd definitely like to know what exactly what it or funny was her experience. But it's really
Awesome.
a beautiful experience. Over time, when I did get used
Mm,
to it, I love doing it because it's a moment
mm,
where you bond with your baby, and you can see
yes.
how excited that they are to be like getting all this milk. You can see it in their
Mm,
beautiful faces. It's like,
mm,
oh,
mm.
you're so cute, little baby.
You see? You see?
Yeah. So I breastfed for 4 months only. Also because I had this thing that I needed to go back to training, or when I do, we drink different supplements, energy stuff.
Oh, you didn't want that to affect the
Yeah,
baby, yes.
work, and in between my schedule, I leave early and I come back late. So
Mm.
luckily for me, it wasn't that hard because with my mom, she knew what to do to get him off the breast milk
Ah, and those
in a
people, the
good time.
grands, they know everything. They know everything.
They
Just
know
go to any
everything.
grandmother. They know everything, those ones. They know everything.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So
Amazing.
it's really, really just a wonderful moment that you share with your baby to breastfeed. So
Mm.
yeah, that was it. Wasn't too long. I know people breastfeed up until the babies are like 2, 3
Yeah,
sometimes, which is
normally, yeah. Yeah,
nice. It's
normally.
really, really nice because, I mean, even the nurses will tell you that if you can breastfeed for as long as you can,
And
it's the
yes,
healthy for
yes.
the baby, and
Mm.
grow up to be strong and have all these other advantages that they have. And
Yes, yes.
yeah, so,
Definitely. Definitely.
yeah, if
Got
you
you.
can
Got you.
stay, let the baby stay. Let the baby stay.
Mm. Mm. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Um, I think I want to cut the live and then we'll start another one and then we'll talk about how the first few months of having the baby. So we've already touched on it because, well, you did say you kept asking me his mom was, but we'll bypass that. It's okay. But I think I want us to just touch on how you then adjusted from you know, being Nolu without the baby to now, hey, baby's here. We're no longer just pregnant, but they're actually here. How are we adjusting with baby, work, and having a social life? And as you said, you went back to training, and then how did you blend all of that in? I think another thing that I didn't add when I sent you the questions is the finances. I think that's also important to just touch on how you so I think the one thing I want us to also touch on, if possible, is just a little bit on the finances, how you had to then adjust your budget, because now you need to buy nappies, now there needs to be milk, and there need to be baby clothes. So I think we can also touch on that. I think because the live, normally they allow you to run it for about an hour, so we like at 54 minutes now. So I'll cut it, and then I'll save this one, and then we'll continue. Right? Good.
All good.
Awesome.